Hi, friends. I want to make an audio about a point that I realized for myself, and I think it would be helpful to share with anybody else that's going through a chronic illness or intractable pain, the kind that never, ever, ever stops. Since I was diagnosed with this rare spinal condition 3 years ago, I mean, the pain started showing itself 5 years, but it took me a couple of years to figure out what it was. It happened from a surgery that I had 20 years ago when I became paralyzed. I never felt pain. Being even paralyzed in the wheelchair for almost 16 years, and then it started to change, like I just said, and everything started getting really painful, and it felt like someone was sawing off my leg all the time, or slamming a sledgehammer into my lower back, or I couldn't move, I couldn't reach the same, I couldn't do the same things I was doing for so long. As a paraplegic, able to swim and be very active and travel the world and do my art and have the energetic capacity to just achieve any goal that I wanted, to be in a good relationship or learn from a toxic relationship or whatever I was doing at that time in my life, I had the energy to do. And then 2020 happened, and slowly since then, a really nightmarish domino effect has been taking place in my life, where one thing after another is just falling apart. And one of those things is my physical integrity. And at this point, after knowing about the diagnosis for 3 years, and even for a very long time, not signing on to, yes, this is what I have, and I will agree to all these symptoms, and I will demonstrate that this is what it is. And I wanted to push past and see if my body could recover, even from a rare disease that or condition in the spine that is like untreatable, uncurable, and shortens people's lifespans dramatically and makes them have a debilitating last part of their life, which is very, very tragic. And in the 1800s, they used to call this thing the dread disease or the devil's disease. And then it kind of went off the radar for a while, but as modern society ramped up to be able to like get people to the hospital quicker and do major surgeries faster and do a lot more spine surgeries and a lot more like epidurals and spine needles in people's spines, it's starting to resurface again in the literature and the overall knowledge, but it's still very poorly understood. And some of the things I see online are so ridiculous about it. I think the name should be changed. Adhesive arachnoiditis immediately makes people think about spiders, and it pushes people away from even thinking that this is serious, like having a tumor in your spine, which it is, but, or like, ALS or fibromyalgia or cancer or all these crazy things that are so long you have to deal with and just take away from your life little by little. It's the same caliber, and I don't think that I honestly think the pain that I feel from what's happening in my spine, the nerve roots being crushed, and the way my brain is receiving those signals, it feels like my entire lower half of my body is being ripped apart off my body, that my body's being crushed and my legs being torn off. And every time I move, every time I have to adjust myself because I'm paralyzed, I have to, use my arms and my hands to get myself, from one place to another. So into the chair, onto the toilet, outside, off the bed, rolling this way or this way to reposition myself in bed. Every single time I move, I'm pulling my legs and yanking at that, it's like the sciatic nerve and the nerves all around the hips and everything attached to where in the spine, and it's just pulling them like strings. It's like you're pulling this glue ball, and every time you pull at the stiffened glue ball, it inflames, and that inflammation is neuroinflammation. So it's not just like you have a backache, it travels up your whole spine because the cerebral spinal fluid cannot flow properly past this tumor in the spine. And so my eyesight gets weak. I have major migraines. I have vertigo. My hands are weak. My dexterity. I can't properly turn without feeling like I'm I'm actually ripping my leg off. I've lost so much weight. I haven't been able to get the therapy done that I need to get done in a good enough fashion after being home from the hospital for a month. I was in the hospital for the month of June, and I went there because I needed to speak to a specialist about my leg and my back and how is this sustainable. I feel like I'm yanking and pulling and making it worse all the time, and it's like, should I amputate my leg? That seems like I wouldn't want to do that, but it just seems like reasonable to do if something's making it really hard for the rest of the body. And it's like, why I'm paralyzed, I'm not walking on it. So anyway, the specialist, the doctor, I showed how am I supposed to live like this? I don't know what to do. I really need help. I can't see how my body can continue much longer. It's showing itself to me now, the month and a half that I've been home, exactly what I was afraid of. Exactly what I was afraid of. Without the proper therapy that I've missed in this month and a half, and without being able to gain weight, this is what's happening. And he said, and in the hospital, they said, I was trying to get help in the hospital. Like, who do I talk to? I need a team. I need support. Like, I can't continue like this. I really don't know what to do. Please help me. What do I do? And they said, wait till you get to the rehab. That's where the professionals for the spinal cord injury are. You'll get all the advice you need there. Okay. So they pass it off. So I go to the rehab. No offense to anybody if they're listening. I mean, this is me trying to survive and just being real. Okay. First of all, it was humiliating every single day having people come in and pushing me to do things for therapy, to be able to go through the hoops, to be in the program, to then be able to potentially get help getting a wheelchair, which I don't even think is even happening at this point, because when I left on my day that I was leaving, I had an emergency and I had to go to the emergency room and I didn't have closure there and nobody's letting me know. And I emailed the wheelchair rep 3 days ago and I was like, is this happening? And no word. So I just I didn't get the support. I'm not getting the support. And it's humiliating and it's embarrassing. And I had to vulnerably throw myself out there. And then I asked, what do I do? And to the final doctor that's going to help me, maybe do the things. And I was like, hey, I want to try barometric pressure therapy, and that would have been amazing for my body. Nothing was really looked into to do that with me, and I could have done that while I was there. And well, instead the doctor said to me about my situation that I'm a resourceful girl, I will figure it out. And that has been echoing through my head and really just tells me that no one's coming to save me. Like, how much more do I need to have that hammered into my head? I got to figure this out for myself. And I might not, and this might be the last process of my downfall. Basically, is this what I tried to go to the hospital for, did not receive help with. I just got the surgery and then that was it. There was no more help, and I am actually worse off now from that whole process because of the surgery. Had done a couple other things to my body that I'm not ready to talk about. That's really challenging and making it hard. And I'm a resourceful girl, so I just have to figure this out for myself. I was sent home and I went into that experience needing to get a better wheelchair. I've been waiting for 6 years to get a better wheelchair, and it takes 5 years for your insurance to recover a new wheelchair for you. And for the whole year, I've been trying to do it on my own with therapists, filling out the paperwork, and I haven't been able to do it. So I needed to get myself into the Santa Barbara rehab to be able to get the help from the right avenues that have the experience and know what to do, how to file, to get the wheelchair for me, to measure me properly. Because the chair I have now for the past 6 years is also a detriment to my energy and my body. And it's measured wrong from the beginning, and I couldn't get a new one, and I had to just wait it out. And so I'm waiting now. It's been 6 years and 2 months, and I'm still waiting. And I wrote to the people yesterday because I went through this whole experience in the hospital. I got a full hysterectomy, which is causing so many really scary byproducts in my body, as well as a paraplegic. And if anybody's paralyzed listening to me and thinking that they might get a surgery and need to do that, I didn't never wanted to do it. I tried for years doing castor oil packs, exercise, red light therapy, drinking different Chinese herbs, this and that, praying, energy work, all these different therapies to try to get the fibroids and the cyst and the endometriosis to go away naturally. And it never happened. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And everything I was eating, all my life force was going to that area. It just felt like it was taking from me to grow itself. So I had to get it all out. And that was the only way to do it. And so I threw myself into the hospital to do all that. And I made it through. And then I had 2 emergency surgeries after that, 1 emergency surgery and an emergency procedure after that. And so I had to wait for a long time, like 5 weeks before I could get back into the water. So that whole 5 weeks I've been here sweating every night from all the induced hot flashes and losing so much more weight than I had to begin with when I got into the hospital, when I was already 99 pounds, severely underweight and anemic and low stuff. And here I am a month later after being home, haven't been able to recover physically anything, just getting worse, because yesterday or Sunday was the first time I was able to finally get in a tub to soak in the water, because I had to wait for a certain amount of time. But the recovery I have to make is so drastic that I really need to I need to go ham on it, and I'm trying. And it's hot, and there's heat waves, and I don't have proper ventilation, and I have a little AC unit, but I can't keep it on all the time. It's like $1 million electricity. So, I'm doing what I can. I force-feed myself, and my digestion broke. My intestines aren't operating the same. It's like something paralyzed my intestines from the laparoscopic surgery on the left side, and now I can't go to the bathroom the same. TMI, sorry. But it's like I can't eat because I've got to repair my intestines, and it's got to be this gentle process. So I'm just in a totally crazy state right now, and really, really struggling. And I never talk about all that goes into it and what I need to do. But I need to start, and I don't even know where to start, because it's all overwhelming, and I don't want to freak anybody out or be manic about it. But my point of this video is to let people know that sometimes it's hard to relax, right? Like when I have all this to deal with, and I'm losing so much weight, and I've already been paralyzed for 20 years, and I am so at high risk, over high risk for pressure sores, because I have such a bony body as it is. And so I don't have a pressure sore right now, but it's like, it seems like any second it could happen, and I'm freaking the F out. But I have to relax. I can't keep getting up and moving around because it's hurting my body. My body needs me to relax. So I got on this alternating air pressure mattress that's supposed to help alternate the air so that a person with this condition can rest easily knowing. But they're all so different. So the one that I had in the hospital was great. It was a $25,000 like sensing mattress. They helped me to get funding for an air pressure mattress to have when I came home, but it's a $600 one, and it's not the same, and it's not proving to be as successful. And so I'm having to survive on this little life raft that's like, I'm not really in a good position. Like, there's not enough ventilation. It's too hot. I have to wear these leggings because I have to turn and twist and move, and I need the pants on to help hold my body snugly, like when you wear like a waist belt or something, to turn easily, to not tear some connective tissue or something. And so I'm like sweating in a football player's room with a trash bag overnight to lose a bunch of weight, and I don't want to lose a bunch of weight. at all. And so my point is to let you know that like I need to relax, but I also can't relax enough to relax. So, what do I do to be able to give my nervous system and myself at least 5 or 10 minutes of full relaxation? Every single second I have to be hyper vigilant. Do I need to go to the bathroom? Do I need to move myself? Are my heels okay? Is my tailbone okay? Is my hip okay? Is my back okay? Are my legs okay? Do I need this? Do I need that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm always having to spin a bunch of plates. Do I need to reach out to this person and prove to them that I am trying, that I'm not just being like a lazy person not trying to save my life? I need help. I need conversations. I need brainstorming. I have all this stuff I have to manage. I have all these things I have to order all the time to keep coming in regularly I'm like a ICU nurse for myself, and I'm the one that needs taken care of. So it's really, really weird. And I have people helping me once in a while, but it's not every day and every night. And I need to find more people that are lovely people. I don't want dangerous people in my environment. I can feel what people's, mindsets are like, and I'm very cautious. It's very important to me because I could easily get enmeshed in some dynamic that starts draining the crap out of me quickly, and then I'm not able to recover and be strong enough or feisty enough to get back up again. And then there the person goes, getting their weird way with whatever they're thinking in their mind or their soul. So I just justify, like, I'm laying down right now and I know I can rest it's not dangerous to lay in one position for more than like 20 minutes if it's a good, soft, not hard, supportive position. Okay. So I set myself up in as safe of a position as I can, where I know I have a certain amount of time. And then I set a timer for 10 minutes. And I say, at least for this 10 minutes, if any thoughts or worry or anxiety comes into my field, I can let it go and I can relax and I can just trust in this 5 or this 10 minutes. And it's like that. It's just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. It's like a mom that never gets a break. It's like 3 years I've been having this screaming toddler that is needing emergency attention, clung to my hip, and I have no breaks. And I love my body. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not taking care of you, so I have to be on it and locked in and always lucid and fully embodied. And that's another thing, like some people I hear now, like talking about being embodied and see how you can build your capacity to tolerate more stimulation and all that stuff and more feelings and more emotion and more to be able to process better and better. Yeah, I know. Like to be half dissociated my entire life and then to be slammed back in my body and forced full embodiment 24 hours a day nonstop, no more dissociation ever, and feeling absolutely everything, even though it's excruciatingly painful and you want to throw yourself off a cliff. I definitely know about embodiment, and I would never wish an experience for anyone to have to go through to be like, because 5-10 years ago, I was talking about this on my channel, nervous system regulation, embodiment, coming into, deeper potential and capacity to grieve because we're not allowing ourselves to process enough emotions with each other, and it's getting repressed and it's coming out sideways, and then we have to deal with it at another time, and it's more chaotic. We can just do it from the beginning and be brave enough. So anyway, I hope you got the message. That was all up in there, and I'm gonna wrap it up here under 17 minutes and wish you the best with whatever you're working with too. And if you want to support me in continuing to find ways to share any wisdom or tactics or techniques that I've learned through this crazy, intense life that I've had, I'm gonna try and boil down the intensity and become a like softer articulator through this, and do like a weekly podcast style thing where I just like tell stories and talk about what's on my mind, and it'll all be very helpful in some way to somebody. So I am wanting to do that as a support to give to the world. So if you know, I've done artistry, I've done so many other things in my life where I've given things to the world, and now this is what I really want to craft before it's too late, before my voice doesn't work anymore and I can't get the message out easily. So I'm going to put a bunch of links underneath about how you can support me, and thank you for listening and doing just that, or listening to yourself and supporting yourself is just as beautiful too. Take care.